Let's begin the show then by talking a little bit more about ONDC. They've got a recent initiative, a collaborative endeavor, which is sponsored by industry leaders like Google Cloud, Paytm, etc., which is the Build for Bharat community. Connecting now with T. Koshy. He is the MD and CEO at ONDC. Thanks so much for taking time out. So let's discuss a little bit more about what the Build for Bharat community is all about.
Okay, that will be my pleasure. See, as you would have heard from me and many of the people who have been working on this idea of open network, that this is going to drive innovation. And it is going to achieve this by unbundling and making them interoperable. So what it means that in an open network, there is humongous potential for innovation from a large group of ecosystem players. Unlike in the platform world, where innovation is limited to few large service providers or platforms in the middle. So we felt that we need to make this known to a larger audience and give them an opportunity and a trigger start for them to drive innovation. So that's why we decided to do this hackathon to uh, to get a wide range participation from the country on different building blocks of the open network. That's why this idea of Build for Bharat was conceived. And now, in the last few months, it's proceeding. Today and tomorrow, the jury is sort of trying to select the final set of people. And then tomorrow, we will have the prize ceremony. So the beauty is that we got fantastic participation. More than 21,000 teams are participating. Each team's got over 4 people. And which would mean that more than 90,000 people are participating directly. And out of this 21,000 teams, about 5,300 teams are women-led teams or women-driven teams. So that is a very, very positive, development.
And I also understand that apart from this, a lot of universities, a lot of colleges are looking to team up with ONDC. They want to develop more courses. Tell us more.
Okay, so as you would have understood, this is about complete transformation of commerce and digital commerce in particular, which would change the way supply chains work, the way the distribution channel works, the way the D2C business will evolve, the way the traditional channels of the large FMCG companies will adopt. So this is going to be a humongous transformation. This would mean diverse kind of spreading of this message across the ecosystem players, whether it is students to be aware of this and be ready for participating as a consumer as well as a service provider, or whether it is the education institutions offering these courses, or specifically driving the incubation cells of many of the institutions. That's why we sort of set it up, this Build for Bharat. And here again, we have done it in 3 stages. I mean, not stages, rather 3 cohorts. One is building the basic solutions. Okay, this is essentially driven towards the student and the startup community, who would look at simple building blocks, innovative building blocks, whether it's on one side, conversational interfaces. Other thing is about using language adaptation of Bhashini for various languages, or even creating very smart catalogs, attractive catalogs for the small enterprises using AI. These kind of very smart, straightforward solutions to be developed. That is one set of groups. There are 5 problem statements there. Then we have something for the people who are already there, who are trying to scale up on national or international level to have scalable solutions. Here, essentially, people are already in the business to have smarter way of attracting their market, a smarter way of pricing, and so on and so forth. For example, so the price optimization engine, use of open source maps for routing. These are the kind of more complex solution which is expected to come from the the industry as such. And the third layer is for the most sophisticated and advanced players to be ready for the future. So this is about next gen ventures. Here it could be very, very smart solutions for kiranas and small merchants to order and inventory management, the microfinance solutions, on unsecured loans against the flow of the business for micro and small enterprises, very smart reverse logistics. All of them are next gen ventures. So that means building around this open network to completely transform the commerce opportunities in the commerce, specifically in the e-commerce. So that's how we are proceeding on this.
So far, give us a sense, Mr. Koshy, as to how many sellers have onboarded the platform, how many are small or medium-sized sellers?
Thank you. As you know that we have started publicizing that people could come and buy from the ONDC network in limited pin codes in Bangalore in last January, in certain way. That time we had about 800 merchants doing about total of 1,200 transactions. That is what where we started with. That was only in mobility, then food, and in grocery. And in the last few months, we have expanded all these things while mobility, food, and grocery established and streamlined new areas like fashion, um, the beauty and personal care, electronics, home appliances. All of them started coming in. So as of this month, I'm expecting when this month completes this on 31st, we expect to have more than 8 million transactions brought in by more than 5 lakh merchants or service providers, out of which about, 60-70% of them will be small service provider merchants or small or taxi drivers or auto drivers, especially small merchants. And in non-mobility, as you know, that mobility is a very hyper-local phenomenon. It's there in 8 cities today. So if you remove that, in the remaining is where we could have both hyper-local and national level. In there, about 65% of the transactions are from tier 2 cities and below. So we are seeing, every day, we are seeing about transactions about 800 to 1,000 cities, stroke towns, or villages, and so on and so forth. So the good thing is that we are seeing very interesting adoption. Even from the merchant side, there are 3,000 odd FPOs who are already on board, who represents about 25 lakh, uh, you know, farmers. And they have started few thousand transactions. In fact, we are very excited to see some of the very interesting, innovations in even demand generation by SFSC under Agriculture Ministry by creating clickable PDF and making widely available through social media channels. And, these kinds of things are really encouraging. Probably you would have seen from the news last couple of days ago, we even have the spirituality as a segment with ISKCON Foundation making Prashad available on the network. So you could see on one side, Whirlpool kind of organization giving advanced electronic items, FPOs providing their small, they produce specialized produce from the regions, artisans, weavers, or even FMCG companies like ITC and even HUL, not just making their products available, but also trying to develop and redefine their strategy in an open network world as against a platform world, which is very, very encouraging.
Right. Okay. But how exactly is ONDC lowering the entry barriers to digital commerce and, providing a level playing field for the e-commerce players and for startups in particular?
See, there are multiple ways. One is probably you would have seen, we are trying to help the startups to come into the larger e-commerce network by building blocks. That is one. Second thing is, as you would be aware, that ONDCs give equal opportunity to the big and the small with reference to visibility and identification and discovery. So we would see that any new enterprises who would coming out with innovative products now have a much equitable and the network where they can make themselves visible, discoverable to a large cross sections of buyers without paying hefty fee to be there in the ONDC, to be there in any platform. So that is how we are helping the startups, one, participate in the network by providing building blocks, or use and leverage the network for expanding their market outreach. If you look at any small businesses, there are three things that is eventually sort of necessary and useful in terms of expanding their opportunity. One is access to market, the other is access to finance, and the other access to skill. And in all these three areas, there is development taking place. Access to market is where we have taken the front foot, and it is sort of expanding significantly well. We have introduced the protocol for the finance, specifically flow-based finance, and it is in the very stage, CUG stage of doing some trial transaction, which is expected to have a larger presence in the next 2 to 3 months' time, with the different enterprises coming to make very smart solution for small businesses or startup, as well as the different service providers, extending the reach of this to a larger audience across the country. And we are also expecting smart insurance solutions for helping the small enterprises to reduce their risk. We are also expecting the investment opportunities of the network for small and micro business to make sachetized investment on a regular basis. These are the kind of things on the finance side, and also access to skill. So two things that we are working on. One is, as probably would have heard, that we are enabling skilling infrastructure to be available on the network. And also, you would have also seen some announcement recently that we are working with the UGC and NCVT to make the programs that will expand the realm of knowledge to a larger audience of students and so on and so forth. So there is a variety of initiatives, and some similarly we work in the various ministries, small and medium enterprises to have interventions, small enterprises to leverage ONDC, Ministry of Agriculture to sort of help the farmers and farmer producer organization. So the span of our collaborative work is so huge. The beauty is that if I was setting up a central system, everything had to be done by the central system. It should have taken its huge investment centrally, as well as huge amount of effort going from one single organization. In a network, so long as we are getting very wide participation.
But there was a recent survey that was conducted, and yes, of course, there were many findings, but I'm going to pick up on the one that said that Zomato still remains the preferred food delivery app, with 50% using it, of the respondents using it, and they're willing to pay a higher platform fee as well. I just want your view on taking on some of these very well-entrenched players.
So you only saw one part of the report. The other part of the report says that in the whole survey, 60% of the current the consumers have used and would like to repeatedly use because they liked it. Second, you would have also seen another 18% of the people have heard about it and would like to try it. So of course, whenever that is established players, they have their advantage of being the early players. So probably you would also know that we are not in competition with any player. We are an inclusive agenda. So we expect that as the time goes by, as the network gets adoption, you would see people, established players also finding ways to be a part of the network. A good example is Ola. Ola was strong in mobility, which is one area where we went, but they felt that ONDC network is something that can be used to expand the offering for their clients. And that is why they are doing exceptionally well in two areas in the ONDC network. One is in food side, and I'm sure that they will have really, help to spread this alternate models. You saw Tata New coming with the food side. You would Ola, as I saw, the second place where they have taken a very strong position and supporting infrastructure is to create the logistics, EV-based logistics, which is also going to significantly reduce the hyperlocal delivery cost. So we are seeing, a very broad segment of players, except the few established players, to supportive and taking proactive action to sort of build on this. But it takes time, as you would have seen, and probably in another couple of years, it will become a question that is no more relevant, because it will be an all-encompassing network with big and small, established and the new ones working together on the national, the larger agenda of a digital economy, expanding the digital presence across the country. As you saw, the UPI changing from banking penetration to 18% to 82% in matter of 6 years, I'm sure that you would see similar kind of transformation in the e-commerce, which is today penetration on the buy side is only 6 to 7%, sell side is 1 or 2%. So we believe that we are going to see a sort of revolution in the whole commerce, as well as particularly in e-commerce.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.